Okay, everyone. Welcome to my little hair-tearing episode of me learning MIDI using the Musicomlab EFX-LEII and a Phaser Empress using the MidiBox2. I've spent the last couple of hours. I mean, I've done MIDI before, but this is new because I've not ever had to program an analog pedal using this particular unit. I've done MIDI with other MIDI things. Anyway, let me just show you what I've worked out. So first things first, what I want to show you is this. This is sort of me understanding how this works. And as I've kind of been tearing my hair out, I was thinking, let me go through this. So basically I've got my guitars hooked up to through here, through the switcher, and I've just got this in one of the loops. Amazing phaser, amazing switcher. Wish I had a few more loops, but you know, limitation is sometimes a good thing. From here, I was trying to send control change messages to this unit. I've set it all up. It's been receiving, like I can hit the tap switch and it'll respond nicely to global clock, which is amazing. It's sort of one of the main things I wanted to do. And that does it nicely. But what I was trying to work out was like, well, if I want to change the waveform or, you know, the ratio or any of those switches that are controllable, as you can see on the manual here, I'm like, I'm trying to send it messages. So how you get into here is you go, yep. So now I'm in presets, preset, choose MIDI, right, pick my preset that I want to edit. Now, this unit defaults to sending program change messages and control, and then on channel 1 to I guess preset 1, and then you know preset 2, preset 3, preset 4 over that channel. So here I was getting things confused. I was thinking this was the MIDI channel. So I don't know if you can see that, but if I kind of zoom in a bit, I was thinking this up here was the MIDI channel, and this was the control change message. Turns out that's just the MIDI message, and you can have up to 12 of the MIDI messages. And this is the channel, and then that's the number that's being sent. Of course, this is the type of message. So I got that right. So let me change what we're doing here. So let me go to, let me zoom out a bit so you can see how I do this. So I'm going to scoot over to the MIDI message. I want to change to MIDI message 2. Now I've got a control change message that's sending on channel 1, control change number 36, which is the bypass switch for the unit. And then the value it sends is 127, which according to the manual for the phaser simulates the switch being pressed once. So that's pretty cool. I got kind of confused about how that works, and apologies for the wobbly camera. It's on a very long stand. But after working that out, it works. So that means I can now send other messages along those lines to this, such as choosing different waveforms. I can send up to 12 control change messages to an analog phaser and get it to do what I want it to do, which is awesome. Oops, I forgot to actually show you how that works. So once you've here we go. Once you've set it all up, we just back out. Let me hit save. Actually, hang on. Sorry, I'm still learning this. So exit. Exit. Oh yeah, because it didn't make any changes, but that's how what you do. You hit save. And now, if I change presets, you'll see this guy switch on and off. There you go. So I'm just, thank goodness for really bright LEDs on the Empress Phaser. So Empress Phaser, Musicomlab EFX-LEII. I don't think they make these anymore. I don't know. So yeah, that's effectively how that works. And then I don't know what I've got to do over here, but that changes a few other things too. So maybe I'll quickly run you through again. I'll change a parameter so we can hear that's off and it comes on. I'm not holding the guitar, I've just strummed it over here. Let's change a waveform. How about we do that? Okay, quickly. We go to let's say preset 3, because I've got, you can see it's in loop 4, so preset 3, we're going to go here, presets, enter, MIDI volume, enter, and then preset 3, and we don't want to use MIDI message 1 because that's the program change for MIDI channel 1. So we'll go to MIDI message 2. We can send a MIDI message 2. There's nothing in there, so we'll change that to a control change message. Right, control change message on channel 4, because I've set it to MIDI channel 4 inside on the dip switches of the Empress Phaser. MIDI channel 4. Right, what are we going to change? Let's make it go fast. So channel 4 will send CC message 20, which is how you can change the speed ratio or sensitivity of what's set at the moment. So we'll do that. Up and down. This is how you change. You can see that. So if I hit these up and down buttons, up, down, up, down. So that's me picking the up down buttons to send control change message 20. Oh, too far. Right. And then the value I will send, it says I can send a value anywhere between 0 and 127 to set the speed or ratio. So ratio means that if it's on a global tap tempo, and this is a cool thing, this sends MIDI clock, which I can then clock to my DAW, or clock to the drummer's click track if I want to. Not that I am in a band, but if I wanted to do that I could. I wasn't a band. Anyway, I can now set it to go to the ratio of that click if I want to. So this guy here can actually go, and I can choose, say that's 1:1 is kind of like what some people would call a crotchet or a quarter note, and then if you sort of roll your way up, whole notes, and then you roll your way up to 1/4, that's a quarter note. So you've got a few options. You can do dotted anywhere between there. So that's how I can choose that. So let's pick a value that is going to make it go faster, a certain value, a certain ratio. So up and down. I mean, if I hold it down, it does sort of go slow. So let's just pick somewhere slow. Okay, cool. So that sets the ratio. Go back step. That preset. And then we can hit exit, save it. So exit, save, saves it. And then say I want to do the same thing on, so preset 4. So we'll go out, exit there. So preset, oops, let's change banks. So bank 1, and then I'm going to go to preset 4, and we'll do the same thing, but we'll change the ratio to faster. Okay, so enter preset. So this is per preset. It can send 12 messages, either CC, note, or PC. MIDI volume. Right, preset 4, yes. MIDI message 2, yes. MIDI message, we're going to choose CC. Go C channel 4. And we're going to go again to, it was 20. And the value we will send, we had 40 or something before. Well, let's send it a value of 100. I can go the other way actually, it might be quicker. Now that's not BPM, the value. This is just, it divides up the knob into values of 127 because 127 is the MIDI number. So you have everything, like there's 128 values if you count 0. So yeah, so 0 to 127, and then I guess if it was to go halfway, so 127 is like having the knob all the way up. The manual recommends leave it at 1 to 1. And if you play with that knob while you're sending MIDI messages or it's getting global clock, there is some weirdness. Anyway, so I've decided I'm going to send it at 100, which would be faster in the ratio than what I set on preset 3. So we'll back out. Going there. Exit. Save. That saves that to preset 4. Exit. Okay. So, right. So at the moment it's off because of what I've sent a control change message to turn it off by MIDI. Not that I would do that normally with this switcher. I'd actually just leave it on all the time. But it's kind of cool if I was, if I had to use more than one pedal in this one loop, I could, and I do trust the bypass and Empress, I could actually fit another sort of MIDI bypassable pedal in this loop, which would be useful potentially. And then that way you can share the same loop in the audio loop switcher part. Okay. Right. So next thing I want to do is, we'll just go through and now it'll turn it on, hopefully. Yes, it turned it on. Right. Sending that. Okay. And then let's see whether it changes the ratio. Yeah. See how the light slowed down? If I do an audio. Yeah, see, I hit preset 4 and the ratio changed, it got faster. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Okay, that's pedal nerdery with MIDI with your host Tim on YouTube.